Hey everybody, and welcome back to another cast game here on Age of Bison. This is a coming from our our 1v1 round 2 team event here between General Spades and Toblerone. But both of these players are around the same skill set, so I do hope that we have a pretty exciting game here for you guys. I know that some of their other games have been out of sync, so this is the only game I can recover. So let's hope it's a bit of a banger, or we can at least learn something fun and have some entertainment with it. And I'm joined here today by Stefan. Stefan, how's it going?
Good evening. Happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm going to start here. We are on Baja. Spades plays a lot of Italy. He plays a lot different. Something that I think to give Spades a lot of credit here. Spades is from the get-go played Italy when it's released in Knights of the Mediterranean. And although he's not a pro player, he's constantly experimenting with the Civ, trying out new builds, doing things his way, and really trying to look at the Civ with fresh eyes. Italy is a Civ that has gone up and down in power ratings, and a lot of it is simply due to people. Jesus, that was a terrible bat. Oh, I see this, Phil.
That was really unfortunate.
Yeah. Just Vils. Being Vils. What was I saying? Anyways, Italy is a Civ that really has not been, I think, fully explored, and it does take a lot of game knowledge and flexibility to get the most out of. People tend to just bot one or two builds with this Civ, and I think that goes against the design of it. So I'm looking forward to see what Spades brings here. And speaking of flexibility, another Civ that's flexible is Mexico. It can do anything. So I have no idea what both these players are going to do. In fact, I'm not familiar with what Toblerone likes to play as Mexico. So curious what he decides to do. But on this map with Mexico, there's the trade line, there's water, there's lots of coin mines, there's chokes. I mean, Mexico can do, the world is its oyster. In fact, I think they even have a card. No, it's USA that has a card about oysters. Enough rambling from me. Stefan, what do you think about this map and this matchup?
Well, we'll see if the map name is prescient for what Mexico's going to go for.
Caster Curse. Check out what the deck's called.
Rio Grande, oh boy.
So no Baja, but Rio Grande, which is, again, speaking of people that, like, this revolt when it came out, everybody thought it was terrible. There really hasn't been that much changes to it, but it's recently become a lot more popular. Lionheart, I think, famously has showcased a lot of the strengths of it. And again, it just goes to show you that this game is not explored. And I really feel like these newer civs, while pros tend to often be like very locked in how they play because they have to at their level, for us average Joes, watching these type of games are exciting because you might learn what a card does or some insight. Looking at his deck, which may not be relevant, especially if he goes Rio Grande, this looks like a pretty flexible deck. Lots of crates, unit shipments, some good H4 cards. So it doesn't really say what he's doing. You can't see the deck names. Now we're going to look at Spades and see what Spades is doing now. He's going for a 2-house opening, which is different than you normally see, and Water Boom. Okay, all the good cards you would expect to see in a Water Boom. You've got Schooners, Capitalism, not any really Lombard
Rendering
cards.
plant in there. Yeah, so he, instead of going Lombards here, he is going for water for his greed.
I think so. And utilizing all of the various cards of Italy. Again, Italy is a Civ right now. Currently, people really focus on Lombard builds, but you can build them for free later. There's no reason that you have to go all in with that, and I think it's currently really restricting a lot of players that do play Italy. All right, so
Yeah.
at this point, just kind of
So
creeping.
let's see. What is the general from Mexico going to spot that dock?
Yes,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
it is. Although, I mean, judging by his deck, it's kind of obvious what he's doing, but it does, you're right, give
Yeah.
Mexico confirmation, right? I just wanted to point out, too, Spades, I really like the Queen Parmesan name. And the, yes, I don't know what that was about.
Guessing a pause.
Definitely. So, Doc now going up, plenty of space. I think he's going to wait till Schooners comes. Yep, queues up one boat. That's the way to do it. You know, you need as much momentum as you can. And his architect now back on house duty.
It's just always insane amounts of wood value out of architects. Picking up an 80 XP treasure there.
Which is, again, really good for Italy because they do have that malice on their XP again. The Civ is very flexible. It really is the most flexible, I think, European Civ, but it does have its weaknesses, and it requires a lot of knowledge to make sure that you're building optimally, getting the right techs, because you get a villager for every tech. Just a very intensive Civ, but I think that's a good thing. It's fun to have those deep Civs. And now Mexico, let's see what we did not catch their age up, but it looks like they went with Tlaxcala, right? This is really useful card, especially too because it does carry over throughout revolts, so kind of gives you a way back into the game. Yep, defensive, going a little bit idle there. Oh, and he's already getting ready to click up to the next age. 700 wood, so pretty standard kind of FF there. In San Luis Potosi. Again, that one adds you Chinacos that scales up to 8, and it also makes you get hospitals and very tough soldados if soldados weren't tough enough. So, I don't know. At this point in the game, Stefan, what do you think like each player should be aiming to do?
Well, I mean, as far as Mexico goes, he needs to do exactly what he's doing. He's making good time right now on his FF. He's working his way towards his res right now for I'm assuming it's going to be a revolt straight into Grande as soon as he hits age 3. I'm assuming it's almost instantaneous. And he's positioned properly for that at this point. Italy at this point, Spades needs to... I mean, it's the great problem when dealing with Mexico. Is what's Mexico gonna do? Like, are they planning age 2? Because if you look at Toblerone's deck, he can totally do age 2. He's got tons of unit shipments and crates. Really well positioned for an age 2 fight. And if that's the case, you know, turtling up and water booming like he's doing is exactly right. If he's going for what, you know, with the caster curse that we're looking at here, where he's going to be going for that revolt timing attack, he really needs to be building up an army right now. So I think that a lot of it'll come down to see how Spades kind of responds, how he gets military buildings up and whatnot going forward, and see how well executed Tolberon's timing is here.
I completely agree there, you know. Again, aging up. Yep. Bustamante and San Luis Patriots. His explorers are scouting. The Basilica's coming out. Again, Italy does kind of struggle with XP. You know, again, you have to really be optimally building with your architect to get the most out of it. Perhaps he's now going to send it Fuzi. Or 700 coin and try to age behind it. I'm not quite sure. But, I mean, he's got 36 vills right now compared to Mexico's 16. So, but who needs eco when you're Mexico?
Cavalry Revs.
Yep, revolutionaries.
Now,
oh, and he's going with the 3 falconets right off the bat. Foundry builds.
where's the foundry?
Am I blind? Oh, that is cheeky.
Oh, that's real cheeky.
Oh, man. Okay, so he's just going to train revolutionaries. He's going to ship this, and he's getting the, you know, part of Rio Grande is they get guard upgrades for free, right? So, I mean, this is all in, but he's going to ship a factory behind this, right? Which, if he's using the current meta, he'll use to make heavy cannons, and I believe they have an eco card back somewhere. I guess this or more shipments. I don't know. This feels very all in, but Spades is in age 2 still.
Yeah, this is very, very all in from Rio Grande. However...
Oh, wait, he's aging up.
That's very good. Okay.
With the adventure, I believe that gives him crossbows. So crossbows are, I think, the right call here because they'll be more useful against these revolutionaries. In fact, they will do pretty darn good with veteran. I mean, I've shat on the PVCA a lot. I do not think they're a good crossbow in this current form, but they're still a crossbow. And with veteran status, and maybe, does he have steel bolts? No, not in this deck.
Okay,
They're crossbows.
Got, what? 23. Okay, 23, but the problem is those Falcons.
And not just Falcons anymore, field guns. These are age
Field
4
gun.
Falcons. Yeah, they're going to rip that tower apart. Okay, good job there, Spades, although you need 3 more. There you go, good man.
Yep, no, good job.
Ooh, fire, fire, fire.
Okay. Oh.
You know what he should do? He should have them in the different mode. They can have siege resist right now. Oh.
Oh.
I mean, they're still going to die horrifically. It's age 4 cannons, it's age 2 crossbow, but... Let's see here. Is he able to snipe one? No.
Oh.
That is brutal. Oh no, now he's going to see these vills here. He's training pikes? Probably a bit of a misclick. 2 Falcons of his own, though, is coming in. If he can snipe these 2 field guns in the back, this one is weak enough. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, if he got off a couple shots.
Right.
Oh, he might have the timing for it.
Fire. Oh, jeez. Oh. Rough. I'm feeling like that's kind of over. Man, just split seconds sometimes in this game. It can be so frustrating, especially into these revolts, because,
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is GG. This town center's almost already down. He's going to kill, what, this 1 field gun?
Yeah, Vilvac.
Okay, training Huss. Good choice, but again, these are age 2 units. These revolutionaries are kind of like Carolians. He doesn't have any military either.
The thing is, if he can get the Huss onto the field guns, there's not a lot of revolutionaries there, and Spades is sitting on a much bigger ego at this point.
Yeah.
So if you take out the threat...
Vet Hussar, I think...
No, I say he's running low on revolutionaries, and then there's a massive pop right now.
Right, because again, he does get, what, 12 and an infinite 16? Yep, infinite 16.
Yeah.
Good job, though. He does snipe those Falcons down. Getting field guns.
That is a very good job. That is a very good job.
And, normally I'd say go raid and idle, but there is no ego.
There's nothing to raid.
Yep. Oh, but there's a heavy cannon now.
A heavy cannon. Well, you might be able to find the heavy cannon, and...
Good response there from Toblerone. These guys now trying to build houses. Is he housed? Yeah, he's housed. The Basilica does count as a shipment point. So...
he is not completely dead.
But he will be very shortly here. And that heavy cannon's got a lot of HP.
Yeah, it's not enough with the 2 Huss.
And he's got all these res. He does not have a market. What can he ship? I guess if he had a market, he could probably, by now, right, get a Merc company out. But 60 seconds getting sieged. Okay. If you look at the score, it's still not hopeless.
Yeah, it's really not.
It will be, though, if all your vills die. Yeah. He still has 38. I mean, again, this water boom is untouched. There's not... I'm sure Rio Grande has something. I'm just going to look here and be upset. I can tell. Yep. An ironclad. Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Building... Oh, it's too late. That town center's about to go down.
Town center's not going to make it up. Spades is trying to do his best Sweden imitation here is Italy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 3 villagers now back for Rio Grande. The second heavy cannon coming out. And yeah, charging in, that's just, you can't. Not into these Carolians. Yeah, he gets 2 swings out, and yep, calls it. And the GG is called. So kind of a short and kind of a brutal one there. What are your initial thoughts? Stefan?
Mexico, man. Mexico.
Yeah, I think spades though. So let's break it down. Again, I will be the first to say I've complained so much about Mexico. I do not think the Civ needs heavy factories coming out, or heavy cannons and 3 things on a field gun. But that being said, my complaining and bitching aside, I think Toblerone played a very excellent game. He played it very clean. Yes. He just had good timing, and I think that's the power of Mexico, right? Again, is you can catch your opponent off guard. Like, there was nothing in his deck that really indicated he was going to go Rio Grande, other than unless you had constant scouting, and I think that's what's important, right? In Toblerone, he had the better scouting. He had the sneak foundry. He could have even gotten Colves or resources, various other ways. He did a really good job executing this build, and I think he should be really happy with his performance, right? Because this is an all-in, right? Like, it takes a little bit of foresight to commit to this plan beforehand, because if Spades semis and has like 2 Colves out, boom, game's over. Like, if that town center stays up,
it's completely over.
Yeah, and those 3 Falcons go down. Like, if those 2 Falcons here would have fired, and Spades was just a little bit quicker to the draw, then all he has is revolutionaries.
I don't think it might not quite land with the viewers. Like, if those Colves, or not Colves, if those Falcons had been able to fire, they had just fired on a massive Vils. So their shot was just out. There was like a split second where the 2 Falcons that had just popped out of the TC could have gotten their shots off and taken out 2 Falcons. Mm-hmm. And that would have been a game changer. Like, and we're talking about what, half a second less than of difference here.
Right, and that's Age of Empires 3. I mean, games, especially these kind of fast fortress kind of plays and revolts and all ends, they live and die in the smallest decisions, and it can feel like you messed up from the beginning, right? I think in the case of Italy, definitely there were some opportunities there, maybe using market abuse and other things, but you just get overwhelmed. Sometimes it's just you see red and it's hard to see. So I'm sure if you are on the ladder and you see Rio Grande and you're a Civ like Italy and you're kind of caught behind, leaning into these delaying tactics, some walls. So why I would have put layer walls like right here, even though they're more expensive, making sure your market, like, not floating res. And, again, using Cav to kind of scout around and stuff. These revolutionaries, again, they only do 20 damage at range, sure, but they're dirt cheap and there's a lot of them. Other than that, and also again with the PVCA, you can put them into siege mode. It does take a second, but that would have helped out for some of the splash damage and the bounces, and it would have been better than just dying. So that being said, I think Toblerone here takes a very commanding game 1. You should be really proud of his performance. I mean, the guy executed a solid, clean build order, and I think Spades had a really good idea too. I liked this Italy boom. He still had a lot of eco towards the end. It was just kind of caught with his pants down, as they say. So any final thoughts, Stefan, before we take us out?
No, I think you covered everything well. Yeah, short, brutal game, but good game to the players.
Exactly, and that's how it is sometimes. These games are brutal, but we all love being on Toblerone's side, and we all struggle when we're on Spade's side. So that's the nature of this game. So I hope, though, the viewers, since you are not on any side, that you've enjoyed this so far, and let us know what you think about this game. Perhaps what either player could have done to improve. Again, we are mortal men's here. We're just casuals and proud of it. So let us know some of your thoughts on how the game could have gone differently, or any insights into these strategies. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.